We are in the LaSalle's, just outside of Moab, Utah, and today we'll be skiing Mount Tuck, which is this one behind me. Now, Mount Tuck, Big Tuck, whatever people call it, is not the real name. I think I saw in a forum that was what some people call it. The real name is longer and more complicated, and rather than butcher the name all day, I'll just use Mount Tuck or Big Tuck. Now, Mount Peale right here is the larger of the peaks by about 200 plus feet, and we discussed skiing that today, but it gets so wind stripped that there's probably no snow on it. They had 90-mile-an-hour winds a couple days ago out here, and I would expect that we would not even be skiing. We want to protect our skis, and so we're gonna ski Tuck, which has a little bit more snow and what it looks like a better line for skiing. Really, we came here though so we could get the majestic shot of skiing Mount Tuck with Moab and Arches and Canyonlands in the background, because that's always looked so cool to me, and that's why we kind of decided to come out here and ski today. They got something like 30 plus inches this past weekend, and the avalanche danger is high today on certain aspects, so that's also why we'll be skiing some of the tamer lines up there on the mountain.
So today's kind of a fun day because if you're from Utah and you lived here your whole life, we associate this whole area down here with like springtime, get away from the snow, be in the red rock of Utah, and then yet always in the background you see this giant mountain and you wonder, well, all the big mountains are up north, when truly the biggest mountains are down here, some of the biggest. And they always sit there almost like it's on a green screen of big mountains. The only sad thing today is that we don't have Christoph. He did want me to tell you all that the reason he's not here is because he has a job that requires him to show up, make money, and actually live a normal life. So he's flying, he said, to make sure that everyone knows, he's flying a 787 International. He's doing really cool stuff. But Christoph has major FOMO today. He texted me like 5 times. So yeah, have fun without me, but don't have too much fun. Make sure people know why I'm not there. Let everyone know that I'm, working a job and that I would be there. Just to like dig it into him a little bit harder, I actually took his skis. I went to his house, took his G3 skis, took his skins. I'm excited to be here in southern Utah skiing because it's not a place that most people ski. I'm not expecting the greatest snow, fine. To be skiing on snow at 12,000 feet, looking at red rock in the desert, you can only do that. Maybe this is the only place in the world you can do that.
"10 minutes in and we're already changing our plan. I think we do want the t-shirt. We're gonna go and ski the barren, rocky hillside that is Mount Peale. And hopefully we won't regret this decision on the way down as we strip the base and wax from our skis.
I packed a sack lunch this time. I'm just brown bagging it today. And I wrote my name on it just so Danny wouldn't steal my stuff.
I haven't seen a lunch in a brown bag in a long time. I think his mom packed it for him before we came out here, but got a PB&J. He's traveled back in time to his grade school days with that sack lunch. Excited to get out onto the face because that's where the views begin, but that's also where the snow disappears due to the wind. And I think from what I've studied and read, this place gets windswept constantly. So part of the reason we came today is that the winds are forecasted to be 10 miles an hour at the summit. But just a couple days ago, as I mentioned earlier, they were 90 miles an hour. So a lot of the snow that used to be on this mountain is now probably like 10 miles to the east. I know we must be close to 12,000 feet. Looks like I feel the lead in my legs. And I'm breathing very hard. Coming to Mount Peale, 12,720 feet. And I haven't been up this high in a while. My body kept reminding me of that as we came up. We are going to ski down a very thin strip of snow off this west ridge down towards Big Tuck and hopefully not rip out an edge. And when I say a fine line of snow, I mean it. There are rocks all over this place.
Check this out. Look at it. It really doesn't get cooler than that. I know I say that all the time, but I'm continually outdoing myself the older I get. This is where Christoph is going to regret letting me use the skis because there's so much rock here. And yeah, it could be a little spicy and dicey.
Ridge traversing on skis can be challenging. Skis on, skis off, skins on, skins off. Boots walk, boots ski mode. Too hot, too cold. With skis, traversing a ridge line like this takes 2 to 5 times as long. Especially when it's wind stripped and you got a lot of rocks and you're borrowing someone else's skis like Matt.
We skied off the top of Peale, skied that crappy ridge down. Then we put on our skis and shot through that little gap off the south side. And then we had to put on our skins again, back up. I feel like an animal.
But from here on out, it should be mostly climbing and then straight up the ridge. We were at the base of our last little climb, powering up with a sandwich and a drink before we probably go the last 1,200 feet. So far it's been an absolutely stupendous day, weather-wise. Snow's gonna be sloppy, but who cares? When the weather's this good, who cares what the snow does?
So here we are, look at that. I mean, I'm gonna ask Danny to please saturate that background. See, it's orange, it's red, it's yellow. It's just like a big painted desert and the big, just white piece of paper right behind it. It's actually pretty cool. Look at that, you got Canyonlands right there, Capitol Reef, you got the Henry Mountains, Monticello Mountains, Telluride, and there's no wind.
All right, summit of Mount Tuck, 12,500, I believe. As Matt said earlier, every time you went to Arches in the spring, this was your backdrop. So it's nice to check this off the list when it's been on it for decades. Super cool. Unbelievable day. Okay, skins are ripped, GoPros are mounted, and we're ready to go. I'm gonna ski down this first part, which is very steep. I'm gonna go slow and be as careful as possible. My kids would be disappointed if I didn't come home. We love getting vert, but we hate giving it up. The thought of having to put on our skins just for a little bit to get back to where we started is not an idea that either of us like to entertain. So we're being misers with our vert as we descend down to where we started. Just at about going down at like a 2% grade. That is the LaSalle's, a decades-long wish list item for skiing. Finally got around to doing it. The conditions were surprisingly great. Unbelievable day out here in the LaSalle's. Being able to see the red rock from the summit, have that as your background. It's a lot like Crater Lake or Ibapaw. It's just something you do because it's so unique and it feels awesome when you're doing it. So yeah, it's really hot now, as you would imagine in the desert, but we're going to pack up and be on our way.
The best part was I was surprised at how good that snow was up top. It just skied really, really fun. It was like spring skiing. It wasn't like light blowy powder, but it carved well and it held your ski really well. Probably the most proud moment is that we actually skied from all the way to the west. We skied east, probably 3.5 miles to 4 miles, and timed it to come back to our skin track, maybe a 1/4 mile off. And then we hit our skin track, but we almost came right back. It was a safe day, it was a fun day, big vert day. I've always wanted to ski the LaSalle's, and we did it, so way stoked.